quickly address something. I want to put this caveat out here. I am not a pastor. Let me repeat. I am not a pastor. I'll repeat for the last time. I am not a pastor. Neither am I an evangelist or a reverend or a prophet or a prophetess or whatever people call it. My name is simply Abuchi. I founded the Depth Foundation, an organization that teaches the Bible as a map of inner transformation. So what that basically means is that we see the Bible as a tool for conducting your inner world, your mental world, your world of psychology. We know that that's what the Bible is, that all of the original teachings of the Bible is psychological, even though they appear like literal events or literal story. But, the Ilean mystics, the past masters in the art of psychology, used those stories, those literal stories or events, to enclose the deeper original psychological meaning of the message they intend to pass. That way, they can preserve it. As you know, many years ago, thousands of years ago, when they wrote this book, there was no, this files, this different technology that we now use today to preserve, stuffs. So it wasn't there. So these people have to use, the activities of man, the events happening around man, okay? They had to use the cosmic world. They had to use different kinds of ways to hide these deeper meanings that are psychological, that are dramas that are taking place in your inner world, so they can preserve it, okay? So that's what we teach. We are trying to, our mission is to bring back that original message, reveal, unbox those literal messages they use to encode the actual message and reveal those true, actual, original teachings, which are psychological. So that simply means that the Bible is not a book of religious dogmatism. It's a book that is practical. There are laid down guidelines and rules on how to use it to conduct your inner world. That's what we do at Depth Foundation, and we are not pastors. The Depth Foundation is not a church. Rather, it's an organization that uses the Bible for its original purpose, which is to help us, conduct and handle the activities that is always going on in our psychological world that we don't pay attention to. Whereas that's the origin of everything we see in our physical world. An example is, you would agree with me that there is nothing you ever see in your physical world that did not first start here. This phone I'm using to talk, somebody had to first conceive the idea in his psychology. Everything around you, including giving birth to you, your parents have to conceive. The story started here. And everything you see here is a projection of human activity in their mental world. Both the chaos, the wars, the prosperities, the darkness, the suffering, the fortunes, the misfortunes, everything originates from here. And it's clearly written in the Bible. I make it alive. I form light. I bring prosperity and I bring disaster. The I is first person present tense. You listening to me. That I is us. Whenever you see I, whenever you see Lord, whenever you see God, whenever you see Jesus, any of those things you see in the Bible, all those characterizations in the Bible, is referring to you. You are the God of the Bible. You're the Jesus of the Bible. You are that I in the Bible. And it is out of you, out of the activities that is going on in your mental world, that this entire physical world came out of. So this entire physical world you're seeing is just a mirror image. That's why my mentors always say, leave the mirror. Don't change anything in the mirror, because that's a world of effect. Focus on the concept of self. That is the internal world. That's where you make any change you want to make today. So this is what we teach. Bringing people's attention back away from the religious dogmatism teachings, back to the true original meanings of the Bible teachings, which is psychological. And for that, we are not pastors. We're just everyday, human, just like me and you, who are also experiencing those mental activities inside of us. But we have seen the way it works based off the knowledge that others who have also experienced it passed across. And we experienced it as well, so we decided to let the world also know about it. What we teach is not philosophical. It is experiential. I am teaching you what I have experienced. So I'm not a pastor. So when you see me quoting the Bible, I am drawing your attention back to the psychological meanings of those Bible quotations, Bible verses and quotes and all of those things. Because the Bible is the greatest psychological book that's ever been written. It's a psychological book. That's why everything you see in it, if you are able to crack the shell of the literal, messaging, and then, reveal the psychological meaning of each of those messages, go and watch our videos. We have done it on different, teachings. You will see that it is referring to your mental world. And it has to be so, because the focus on the world outside of you is completely useless, and I always say it's unworkable. The reason why I say that is because if you have observed everything, as I said here now, everything you see in your physical world first started here before it was manifested in the physical world. And as the conditions change here, those things keep changing. That's why the physical world is ephemeral in nature. It keeps fleeting. Is that where you should focus your attention on? Something that changes. An example, people in those days would buy other people just to acquire luxury cars like Phantom Rolls Royce and all of those things. Those Phantom Rolls Royce that they buy people, some even buy their mothers and their father to acquire, of those days in the 70s or in the 80s, if they dash it to you today, you will not take it. So is this the world you want to focus on? Their foundation is here to let you know that the major drama that is writing all of the activities, all of the events you see in this physical world, the source, the author that's responsible for everything you see playing out in the physical world is here. So we are not a church. I am not a pastor. I am just letting you know the psychological meanings of the Bible teachings. That is simply psychological. That's what you use to handle, to conduct your inner world. Follow me to Romans 12:2. It says, do not conform to the patterns of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Okay? Be transformed by the renewing of your mind. It didn't say be transformed by the renewing of your house or your car. Transformation doesn't come from this place. The transformation comes here, then it mirrors itself on your screen of space, which is what you call your physical world. So we're not a religious organization. I am not a pastor. I am just an individual, just like you, everyday human being like you. There's nothing special about me. And I don't have access to any supernatural that is outside of me. The supernatural I have access to is the one inside of me, because that's the origin of this whole thing you see in your physical world. And you have that capability to also have access to it. All you need to do is to what? Refocus your attention. Remove your attention away from the physical world. Focus it here. Because Christ, the hope of glory, is within. The temple of God is within. The kingdom of God is within. I hope I've been able to explain myself. Thank you for listening. And always join us every Sunday at 9 a.m. on Gente Facebook page and Depth Foundation IP YouTube channel for our live sessions where we reveal these deeper meanings of the Bible teaching, which is a psychological book, so that you will see that the Bible is a psychological book and not a book of religious dogmatism. I'm not going to, take too long to just make sure you join us. See you this Sunday. Do have a pleasant day. Bye.